Advisor's Analysis: What His Essay Can Teach You. As Gabriel talked about his passion, he lit up, his whole being changed, and he morphed into a beaming light of intention, so I got out of his way. In my classroom, Gabriel seemed almost incapable of making himself the loudest person in the room, so modest about his intelligence. The many times we talked privately about this essay, he expressed that his instinct was to write something impressive, but he doubted his capability. What finally emerged was the essay you just read, and it worked because it sounds exactly like Gabriel. His essay conveys someone who is quietly passionate about something most of you have never considered. Look at how he opens. He doesn't begin with a dramatic life event or a declaration about his future. He begins with a concept, analysis paralysis. He then immediately makes it personal and specific. Ideas for the perfect hook pepper in my head, then turn to vapor the instant before I can grab a hold of them. He is telling you inside the essay itself that writing this essay was hard. I was worried about this approach. But for him, it was the kind of honesty that was disarming. It signals to an admissions officer that what follows will be real. And it was. So it worked. Then he does something structurally smart. He grounds the concept in the totally relatable: a Cheesecake Factory menu, a left turn in traffic, a job listing, and boom, it's relatable and humanizes him before he asks the reader to take him seriously, which is exactly the right sequence. You cannot lead with your thesis if you have not yet earned the reader's trust. This is so important. Writing an effective personal statement requires so much more than just storytelling. This is so hard to teach. The pivot to trained is where the essay finds its footing, and as his teacher, I was waiting for this moment. Notice that he does not say he is interested in urban planning or infrastructure policy, or that he's going to double major in civil engineering and economics. He writes that the echo of the tea breaks became as comforting a sound to us as a father's voice. That simile is doing serious work. It roots an intellectual passion in something sensory and emotional, which is the only way to make an admissions reader feel something rather than simply register information. By the time he tells you he was hooked for good at 3 or 4 years old, you believe him. It's the type of inferential work that I teach with Sticks by George Saunders. Gabriel's parents deserve credit too. They taught him to look outward, to think about systems and communities and the people inside them, not just his own circumstances. You can't fake that. No bland, predictable AI garbage in his essay. You can feel who Gabriel actually is. When he writes about American bulldozing rail lines and entire communities to make space for highways and describes feeling a stirring in my heart that grew into a storm, he's not performing social awareness. He feels passionate about it. The closing is the essay's most powerful move. He returns to analysis paralysis and resolves it. This choice leaves no room for analysis paralysis. I've already made up my mind. That is a full structured circle. And it tells a university exactly what kind of student will be walking through their doors. It ties everything up into a neat bow as I teach my students. Gabriel is not someone still figuring out what matters. He is someone who has decided and is ready to act. And this is what I hope universities are buying when they award scholarship money. Not a transcript, not a list of activities. They don't verify. They offer acceptance to a person who will walk onto their campus and make it better for everyone. So before you write a single word, ask yourself, what have I already decided? Not what looks good, not what sounds impressive, not a sob story, what you actually believe and why you have believed in it for longer than this application process. Start there. If you don't know where to start, then I suggest reading books, watching movies, getting off your phone, and finding something that inspires you. Find something you love that makes the world a better place.